I was cool enough, I'd have a chat bus.
Zuck Buck will be good. Zuck Buck. All right, so I'm Jay Carpenter, founder of Desert Blockchain. We're getting started here tonight, and it is October 23rd, 2019, Wednesday, and tonight we're talking about testnets. We're talking about the Libra testnet, we'll barely touch on the Ethereum testnet, and then talk a little bit about what's coming up with Filecoin. So we have Chad Eylander here, and he's going to be going over the Libra testnet. And if you didn't see it today, Mark Zuckerberg testified before Congress regarding the setup of Libra. Quite interesting. I sent out a link to that today, but I highly recommend you take a look at it, at least parts of it, because not so much about Libra, but basically because we are at a juncture, a turning point where what's happening in the decentralized space is basically somewhat colliding with our legacy policymaking and constructs and legacy jurisdictions. So I highly, highly recommend you take a look at that. Oh, I am cut off a little bit. Thank you. Thank you, Eileen. So the other thing I'd like to mention is we are building benefits around the Desert Blockchain Citizen Program. For instance, this stream is available to Desert Blockchain citizens, and that's sent out before our sessions. So if you happen to be unable to make it, you can still participate as a citizen in our monthly sessions. To become a Desert Blockchain citizen, it's only $10 a month on Patreon. There's plenty of links. You go to patreon.com and go to Desert Blockchain. You can sign up. $10 a month. Just last week, there were 2 events that citizens went to for free. One was a $500 event, which was DesTech AZ 2019. That included a full meal. And we had probably 10 citizens that attended that at no charge. It was an awesome event. Steve Wozniak was there. We also had the Scottsdale Cyber Summit, and that was a $350 event. Again, as citizens, they got a pass, and they attended that for free. That also included a full meal, full day of awesome speakers and so forth. And there's going to be more events like that you can either get a discount or possibly a free pass as a Desert Blockchain citizen. So I highly recommend you sign up for that. Desert Blockchain camps, Desert Blockchain programs, the pizza, everything. We're moving towards having this be a set of services, a set of events that appeal to the community, that's funded by the community. So that's what becoming a Desert Blockchain citizen entails. And the other thing is, the earlier you sign up, if there is any kind of tie, or more citizens want something than are not available, then the citizens that sign up earlier will have priority. So I'm going to be talking about this more, and I welcome your suggestions. If there's something you want to see as a benefit for a Desert Blockchain citizen, please let me know. And some event coming up, whatever, you can recommend it, and I'll reach out to the organizers and see if we can get some discounts or possibly free passes. So before we get into Libra, I would like to show you something, which is our drone and radio control car course out here. It will be moving fast, but you can see we've got a dragon, we've got a scary tree, we've got a ghost out in the field. And we're going to be basically having drone contests and radio control car contests, so you can track the results on these test nets. And at the end, at some point, for citizens, you will have an opportunity to enter into an auction for prizes. So we're going to be talking about that as we progress here. So that's kind of, I think that's about all I have. Oh, the other thing, as a citizen, we're having a Halloween event. It's called Crypto Night, and you can come as a citizen. We're gonna have pizza. We've got a really, really cool food truck that's called Space Scoops, and they specialize. They've got a whole truck that's made up, might be even manned by aliens, but they've got special ice creams that are kind of like space theme ice creams, or not ice creams, but actually gelatos. So come for that. That's going to be really cool. You don't have to wear a costume. I will probably be in a costume, but we're going to be flying drones and doing some cool stuff here, and that's designed for citizens. That's Halloween night, October 31st, from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. So come on out, and not only do you have fun flying drones and radio control cars, but it's designed so that you get to learn about cryptocurrency and blockchain in the process, because when you win certain things for doing things with the drones, we're going to log that onto the Libra Testnet, Ethereum Testnet, and eventually Filecoin Testnet. So that's about it. Chad, you want to take it over from here?
Sure.
I'm going to go through the Libra Testnet. Cool. Willie, any questions you have? Not yet. Okay, cool.
Well, basically what we're going to do is we're going to walk through kind of how the general transactions work on the actual testnet. I'll kind of discuss kind of the current state of the project as it is today. Today, the project is all on the command line, and it's in a state where their programming language they're making for the Libra blockchain is in its intermediate state. So it's changing every few weeks. And what the testnet is today isn't what it will be when it's done. Their next roadmap says their next step is release of the free mainnet, and then after the free mainnet is the mainnet, which should be similar to what this is, just a little more refined, and they'll have their smart contracts language completed so that you can create your own smart contracts. Right now, there's tests you can do, but it's not that easy to do an actual smart contract at this point. So I guess what we'll do is...
One thing I would like to say about Libra that's important to keep in mind, because there was a big congressional hearing about it and everything, and some people are saying, well, some people don't like Libra.
You mean attack?
Attack, yeah. Did you watch it?
No, but I saw clips.
It was
It's
crazy.
good.
Yeah. So anyway, there's at least one other entity that has, let's say, created something, quote, inspired by Libra, because Libra's open source, which is Binance. And Binance has taken, am I correct on this, Chad? They've taken the Libra code and they're creating something that's...
Yeah, they're using it as a foundation. I don't know if they're going to copy it exactly or where they'll take the project, but they've essentially got it. They have it.
Yeah. So this is not something that's likely to not happen one way or the other. So any time that you spend learning Libra and so forth, I think will be time well spent. So, okay, take it from there.
Okay, cool. So basically, there's a lot going on here. Currently, over here on the far left is what's called a validator node, the gray thing there. And essentially that is what we're working with is 3 nodes that look just like that. Jump the cursor over here, like this. And so what we've done is we've created 3 of these nodes, and then we're going to be logging in as this client and sending commands to these nodes to complete transactions. And so we'll just kind of walk through how that works. I've got a couple instances up here on Amazon, and then we're also linked in on a Raspberry Pi. So we'll kind of go through the setup of how to connect the accounts and stuff like that. So first we'll start with creating creating some accounts. And so we'll go ahead and we'll create a couple. Create like 5 accounts. And so in order to link in, I have to run this command.
Client to localhost P 46,377s/tmp/.express/
Keyboard broken.
It's okay, we're recording.
Okay, cool. So whenever you see this Libra %, you're logged in with the client, which is the black #1 over there. And so this is going to be the location that we send requests and commands to the rest of the validation node. This is how we interface with the blockchain. And so what we'll do is we'll create accounts. And so we'll go over here to kind of the walkthrough. For creating accounts, we have the account main command. And so the account main command, actually you have it there. Actually, you can create the account too. So when you type account, and then just hit enter. So it gives you a list below there of your options for the subcommands for account. So they're listed here. So you've got create, list, recover, write, and then so we'll go through all of those at some point. But we'll probably have you go ahead and create 5 accounts. So type out. We'll go with this account create.
Account
and then space create. Yep. Now hit enter. Cool. So now you've created an account and it says #0. There's the account, there's the wallet. So at this point, the wallet is in memory. It's not saved to the blockchain. It doesn't save to a blockchain until there's money in the account.
And once their money is entered into that wallet, then it's automatically saved to the blockchain?
Yeah. Then but before then it's not. It's temporary. And that's just how the testnet is. In the end, will be different. So go ahead and create.
Have you ever played around with something like this before?
No.
Okay, so this is interesting.
So this is very, I do testing,
Yeah.
but I've never played in the testnet. So
This one's very well done.
this is exciting for me as a beginner. So if you are a beginner and you are watching this, just follow along because I'm going through the basic steps myself to learn how to do this. That's why I'm asking questions at the wallet and so forth.
Yeah.
I'll ask clarifying questions for people who may be listening later.
Yeah, this is hands-on. I'm sorry the videos, you probably can't see what's going on screen, but just kind of follow along, and we will be refining this, and other people, citizens in particular, will have an opportunity to set up their own wallets and keep track of Libra Testnet cryptocurrency and other things. So.
Yeah, and the walkthrough that we're doing now, I can see a link. You can go through from your house if you want. But anyways, you created one account. Let's create another account. Let's do like 5 accounts. Yeah.
Account 2 created.
You see how it goes down to 0 and then 1. So that was your initial #0.
Oh, 0 was the first.
So this is the ID, how they reference it from inside where you're at right now, the CLI. That's the account down there. Now we got 2.
But you reference this account by what? That individual integer or the wallet address?
The wallet address is how others will reference it inside of this CLI. How we're going to reference it right now is just that ID.
All right. Account #3 created. Oops.
Okay, now I'll
4.
show you. I'll tell you the secret. So if you get tired typing, you can do shorthand. So type A, the letter A.
Oh. Okay.
And then space, and then C, and enter.
A space C that recognizes.
Same command.
Same
It's just
command as
search
account
and several
create.
out. Yes, just before. And then let's go ahead and do one more.
Is that specific to Libra?
Yeah. So that's what this means here. So they're trying to, here's the main account, and then the C is for create, LA is for list, R is for cover. So let's go ahead and list them out. So type account, and then the subcommand list. So these are the 5 accounts that you just made. 6 accounts you just made. The sequence number is 0. The status is local. The sequence number is really important. It is how many transactions have occurred from this account. So right now we've got 0.
Yeah, 0.
We haven't received money. We've sent money.
And that sequence number will be increased whether you send or receive, correct?
Send only.
Send only.
Yeah. Or yes. I believe. Yes.
You believe?
We'll find out. We're going to transfer some money here.
Okay, we'll keep an eye on that.
Right. And so you'll just keep an eye. That should be changing.
Because that's going to be your latest. Does this have an accrual balance that's carrying forward?
Yeah.
It does. I think the white paper said it does.
The sequence number will always be moving.
So then you'll have to increase the sequence number whether it's going or coming.
It automatically increases every transaction.
Yeah.
So then it gives you
your latest version.
Yes,
your latest version.
Status of your account. You can go back to every account.
Got
Okay, so let's go ahead and let's mint some money to these accounts. So we have 5 accounts. The mint transaction is account mint.
Account mint. And how do we identify?
And so the account that you want to send money to, so put like 0 through 5. You go with 0. Let's just put the number 0. We'll start with 0. Space. And now this next figure is the amount of money you want. Let's look at 1,000 or 100. You know, whatever you feel comfortable.
Oh, 1,000. Start with $1,000.
Okay. Just don't do it. Just do 1,000. It doesn't know.
You have to put a okay. No decimals.
I've never tried. You can try. It'll tell you it doesn't like them.
Well, let's do what you know first.
Yeah. So then hit enter.
Okay, account mint and identified 0. That's the account.
That's this very first account right
It's
here.
the very
we're
first
gonna
account.
populate this account.
So you got account mint, and then you identify the sequence, not the sequence, but the account, and then the amount. And it's minting my coins now.
So when you hit that button, what it's doing is from the black client there, it's sending a request to that admission control
For the creation of the coins.
program. That is what's creating the coins and sending them back. See, that's when it says requesting. That's what you're requesting from. So now we can go ahead and we'll see if it worked.
It says request submitted. How long does it take to find out if it actually worked?
Well, you can hit. So we'll do the query. So the command.
Well, could we not tell also if we did the user, if we looked at the listed the account again 0, we should have a sequence number of 1, correct?
That'll be on transfer.
Not for initial minting.
Yes. Because minting is unique to the testnet because in real life you can't mint money. So your account, you can make an account in real life.
Okay, that would mean that if that is correct, that you cannot mint twice on the same account. Because how would you have the latest version if you did not increase your sequence number?
Right. This is in the testnet have that you won't be able to do. So the sequence number won't change until we do a transfer. So try again. You can do account mint 0 and then add 50 more to that same account. I don't know if I've done this. 0 and then
50.
set 50.
Did I recognize the 50 cents?
I don't think so.
No.
No, because they have it's called a micro Libra. It's not a cent.
So if you don't put in a decimal, it doesn't move it from the right to the left?
No. Well, see, that is $50 or 50 Libra.
Okay.
I don't know how to do.
There's no fractional Libra?
There is micro Libra. So when we submit an account, we look for the logs. It lists it all in micro Libra and not regular. So you'll see the transition it does itself. But anyway, so go ahead and we'll query that balance to see if we have the money. Click the command is query.
Well, you can do account list again, right?
Yeah, I won't show it here because this is something that annoys me. But notice how the balance doesn't show here. It's just the account.
That's terrible.
I know.
Why wouldn't you show a balance with your account information?
I don't make
What kind of deal is that?
So they have a command that's specific to
It's a
query.
prototype.
Yeah, they have a command that's specific to query.
Costs
but-
extra to see your balance.
Yeah, this is just walls. So now we'll go into the query command,
Query
and then balance
BAL.
BANCE. I learned how to spell balance correctly.
Nice.
I'm doing this. Yeah.
0,
You
right?
made progress already, Chad.
Okay, so
The balance is correct. It has
okay, and see
1,050.
now there's decimal point.
It's
and so that's how
6
it goes.
places. Libra goes to 6 places. 6 decimals.
That's
yeah.
for micropayments.
Yeah, so,
Right?
I think so. Yeah, it'll be like a Satoshi. You know how there's like
Yeah, 18
yeah,
or
whoever-
Satoshis.
Yeah, all that stuff. So let's go ahead and query, or not query. Let's go ahead and put some money in the other accounts. So just do the account mint.
Let's give
And
different
then,
amounts. Oh, we got to name the count. 1.
And then how much you want.
Okay, let's do 900.
Did you put 2 spaces there? Does that-
Request submitted.
Yep. And now hit up.
If your request is invalid, will it reject
Oh
it?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Here, show.
Man, you're just perfect. You're just perfection. You never made a mistake. Or if you want to, you can hit up, and it'll bring the command back, and then you can just change it.
Oh, you're talking. Okay.
Yeah.
So
we-
People can't see this if they watch
Yes.
it.
Hit the up arrow.
There we
Bingo.
go. Now hit left.
Change.
Or no, do 2 though. So scroll over and change to 2. So
Oh,
now we're
yeah,
making
yeah,
the
yeah.
next account. You know.
Oh, it inserts it.
Yes.
Command line's
there
a
you go.
little different.
Yeah. But we can all get a refresher
That's true.
on the command line.
Okay, nice.
3.
There is no limit.
You can
Really?
make 1 million. You can make 1 million Libra.
You know. how-
You can be richer than
Yeah.
Mark Zuckerberg
Yeah.
in Libra.
Yeah.
For these
Well, let's do 1 million. I don't suppose it gives you a decimal, does it? I mean, a comma. So that's 100,000. Okay. And 5.
Yeah.
We'll do 1 million here. 1, 2, 3.
Sweet.
Nice.
Nice.
Willie walked in.
Yeah.
And he's worth $1 million.
I got me a 1,200,000 Libra.
Better than the lottery.
Oh yeah, well even more. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna set up some transfers, and so
Well, let me do the query just to see all the make sure all
oh
the
yeah, so do Q space B, so for query
He's
balance,
got her, yeah.
and then
We're
type
minting
in
Libra.
0
1,
through.
and that's 900. So here's the thing that's annoying, right? I don't know if there's a command to list all 5 accounts out.
What happens if you do 0 through 5?
Try it. I've never tried that.
So
It'll tell you
0 through 5. Let's find
if
out what
that
happens.
works.
Fail to
Okay,
get
the
balance.
first time you made a mistake on the command line.
Uh-oh.
And, you know,
That's going to
QB.
cost you 50,000 Libra.
we have a Libra monopoly.
Right. Yeah.
Here's the 120,000. Give me 5. There's the million. No commas. And do 4. There's 100,000.
So there's our money.
Okay, we have money.
Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to send a transaction to
And no command for send.
right. Well, it is the transfer command. So see where it says transfer and then transfer B, T and TB. What we're going to do is we're going to do the transfer B command. And so the B stands for blocking. So what it does is it sends a transfer and it only responds back when the transfer is on the blockchain completed and the money's been transferred. So if you do the regular transfer command, it'll do it, but it doesn't
You
necessarily
won't know.
mean
Are you saying you get a response back indicating that it's been completed?
yes. And you get a response with the transfer B. So I want to show you that one. It's
Okay.
even more. Nice. So the
Transfer
transfer
B.
letter B, and now let's do it from like the big account of 5,
$1 million account?
yeah, to like
How do you
1 or 0.
how do you indicate 2?
You got it. It's not that hard.
5, 2, or just
No, the number 2. So this is the account it's coming from. Space the account.
so just
you wanna
recognize
send
it. You don't have to indicate from a 2.
Yeah. So
It just
yeah,
recognizes
it knows by the location of 2. So you're gonna send
Okay.
from 5 to 2, and
The
now the
amount.
amount is like 1,000, 100, or whatever.
354.
Do something not even, so then you know that you sent.
That's why I have 354.
Yeah.
Transferring. The transaction status, run query transaction account sequence 5.
Let's run this first to kind of give an example. So this is what a transaction looks like when you complete it. This is gross, but there's a lot going on.
Okay.
So run this right here.
Run
Query.
transaction.
So this is, yeah, query space TXN underscore ACC underscore SEQ
EQ
5.
space. No.
Yeah, space 50. And then space true. Okay, so what this is the same word for transaction, the account, the sequence number of this transaction between these two. So I'm going to enter the.
Well, this hasn't responded. Oh, it says finished transaction.
Yeah, so it is finished, but now this is just to show you what was just transacted. So
Cool.
So this is on the
is-
blockchain.
This is, yes, this is on the blockchain stored, and this is what was transacted for that last transaction. And so this is the example of how I said that they're removing some of the payload, because payload is kind of big for every transaction.
We got a test failure.
Oh, check this out.
We have a test failure.
No,
Yeah, we do, because we transferred from one account to the other, and the other account has no sequence number.
but remember, I said sequence number only moves when money is sent from your account, and so we only have one.
Because it was
that's
sent
money.
from there.
Yes, sent from there. So
But
that's
how-
how sequence moves.
Well, how are you going to have a current status then if you don't increase that sequence number on a receipt?
That I don't know, because that's a testnet thing, because you can continually receive minted money, and so they don't want that to be counted as a sequence event, I guess, because they have the money to get in your account some way. So this is, I know how they are tracking the sequence number. That is a good question, because I also learned that myself. So all I know is that at this point, the status of your account sequence number is on money transfers out of your account.
Have
Okay.
you played around with this stuff?
Oh, cool. We'll get you in here to work on it.
You want to make that full screen so it's a
Oh yeah, because we can do it on this one too. We're doing on the 5
Well,
right
let's
now.
do it on the 5.
Yeah.
So
So
you
make that
know
one
how to
full
make it
screen.
full screen. Under the upper corner.
So let's
There you
go
go.
ahead and let's do a fancy command. I don't know how to. Here, I don't know.
Just scoot over a little bit to the right,
I think, yeah.
or on the table.
So what we're gonna do is hit Control Shift minus.
Okay, let's validate our sequence number increased. Let's validate the amounts on those counts to make sure that tests work correctly. We lose our
Hit Control Shift minus to make it smaller.
Control Shift minus.
That's we're trying to good and bad. Yeah. So you just change the top thing. Yeah, just go back to that. Yeah, I'll just do that for now, and then I'll put it on the screen here in a second. But right now, these accounts that you're making are local to your Pi and can't be moved and received by my nodes until after we save them to disk.
Doesn't bring it down. There you go. Okay, is
So want to query balance?
account balance? Wait, no. Account.
All right, so
balance.
it's query balance. Whenever
Query
you're
balance.
requesting money, you have to use the query.
Yeah. And we moved money from account 5 to
0.
where's that at? See it. Where's it? 5 to 2, 5 to 0.
5 to 0.
So we do 5 first. Okay,
It's,
decrease it by, all right. Query balance 0. Oh, no change. That would be a test failure.
Are you sure?
It
What
still says 1,050. That's what we did, 1,000 first, then 50.
I don't know.
You don't know.
Oh, hold on. Just transactions right here.
That's a test failure.
That's right. It's a test failure.
We packed Libra.
Who do I
So
notify?
the amount was what, 354
Create a ticket.
million. So this is why I always go with 100 for each account, so I can easily add
It wasn't that much. It was 300.
the amount.
It was 354.
The index is 1. The
Not-
amount 1.
Almost zeros. I didn't do that many zeros. I did not. put
Oh,
the-
I'm sorry. I forgot to tell you. So this is micro Libra. Okay. So in the
What?
payload, it is sent in micro Libra. So
Oh,
your-
okay. So the six
our
zeros
numbers,
are decimals.
yes. The numbers are going to be
Okay.
way bigger on this payload, which is also another noise. But
Well, I went to zero account, and the zero shows no increase in amount. That's why.
did you send
There
it?
you go.
Did you send it to 0 or 1?
Zero.
Oh, you sent 0, 1.
What? There's zero here. Didn't we do those? Because we did
Oh, yeah. How much did you send?
354.
Huh. I wonder why.
Let's check account balance 1. Balance 1. Nope, no change.
Weird.
Boom! Busted Libra.
Already broke it. Okay, well let's do.
This is comparable to the Dow hack.
This is the Willy hack.
Doesn't really happen.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna save these wallets to the local machines, then I can pull them up here, and then we can transact between nodes.
Onto the Raspberry.
Yeah, it'll be on there, but we're on an EC2 instance. We're in the cloud right now.
Okay.
It's a very special place called the cloud. So these are all we're all sharing. We're sharing a file system right now between all these nodes. So whatever you save here, I can pull down and load all your accounts and stuff.
Well, how do I submit this defect for somebody to look at?
We'll check again over here.
Do we do that?
Yeah,
do we submit
they do
defects?
that. We can submit it. Yeah, we can.
Because this is a pretty simple one.
Yeah.
I mean, I gotta believe that this is.
Yeah, I don't know why that is, or when we're just reading it, which is also.
Willie's angling to become part of the
Yeah.
Libra.
Okay, so do.
I was responsible for business analysis and testing. You're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars daily and to reconcile to the penny, millions of dollars monthly and billions annually. That was my job. Make sure money and account balances. I was responsible for maintaining $2 billion of receivables,
Nice.
defaulted student loans.
You're in the right place. So what are we doing now?
Okay, so we're
No,
gonna
I'll do it.
now put the.
19 years.
I forgot. I can test your last name.
I was a business analyst over the accounting department of the second largest defaulted student loan territory in the country.
Okay, so
No wonder
all the
you're out of work.
logs for whatever is occurring happens in. You know what? We can test what you just did actually, or actually we can't right now. Okay, so type account space write WRITE and then space, and so now we're gonna type a file path that I'll tell you, and it's gonna save our wallets to disk. So type.
You don't have to identify the account numbers or anything?
No. So do /
That's right here.
That's that. And home, HOME, / EC2 dash user / Libra wallets
All one.
003 all in. See if this works. And,
What's that supposed to be?
okay,
Well,
so what it
mnemonic-
did is it saved the mnemonic for your wallet and all the stuff. Two of them to disk, so that anybody who has access to the disk can pull it down, such as Chad.
Including these transactions?
Well, let's see.
So you can query now the balance and see, right?
Yeah. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to recover. So here's the file system. This is why I love this client, this SSH client. So you just created a file right here. So here's 1 and 2. You just created 3. And so see the one that you just made? You just created that file. Inside that file is
The
your
wallets.
accounts and everything that you need. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know.
You also said it would transfer money to my account there. I got no money.
You know what? I'm going to trust the
It's
system.
gone. It's
I'm
into
gonna
the-
trust the system.
It's into the world. It's into the wind now. I lost $354.
That was loaned to a student.
Right. Total permanent disability.
Okay, so it just recovered those 5 accounts. Let's see what. So now I can see them on both systems or whatever.
I check balance of 0.
Let's see.
You didn't put it on there. You got the 1,050 or you got the
Yeah,
1,050. Still lost the 354.
We'll see.
Well, can't you see the transaction
Yes.
in the blockchain?
Yeah. Okay. So there are. Yeah. So what is that? So this is the zero. Okay. So let's do. This is gonna be gross.
I wonder if the accumulator for the seed account is working properly. That could be the problem, or just send. Because if that transaction is stored properly on the blockchain, theoretically the blockchain should be able to go out and find it and retrieve it, right?
Yeah. So that was what this is. It's supposed to be all stuff, but it's in micro Libra. We can also check.
Well, I wonder if the 2 account was stored on the blockchain. Maybe it wasn't. Where can you see the data?
Well, you know what? The hard way.
The guy is a blockchain programmer. He put out a book, Master Bitcoin. It's from a developer.
Andreas.
Yeah. I'm going through his book. It's from a developer standpoint, but it really helps you understand each component of the block and how it's derived. That's the kind of detail I was getting to as a business analyst and tester. I know they don't usually get into that kind of detail, but I like to know file, record, and field level information, so I know exactly where the flow something went wrong. So really good.
So looking up stuff in the logs is probably one of the most painful things with using testnet. There's not a.
It's not user friendly.
No. So we're not gonna do that right now, but
If you're not a programmer, you're not gonna be able to do much testing.
oh, you can. But the thing is, you can put a block explorer on top of it and all that stuff, or if you log into the big one, you can look up all your transactions that way. You can do it in here. It just gets really gross because there's 3 nodes running right now, and every transaction it will do like 3 to 4 gigs of data. What? Yeah, I'm serious.
For every transaction.
No. Let's say that we're doing this for like a half an hour or whatever, because I'm running 3 nodes and medallions for each node. It'll take a ton of space. There's like a detailed log.
Is that because of the level of logging?
Yeah.
Can you throttle that logging?
Yeah, you can do like a D command where you can do less detailed logging, and there's no logging. It's generally how it normally works. But anyway, and so let's go through this. And so now that I've got your DNS. So I'll create some wall. Do you want to get it to try?
When you get deep into this stuff, you can't break that down. I'm not sure.
Absolutely. Just cost you 1,000.
I just bought 354. Where did you get these commands at?
Oh, it's too old.
It's too what?
The sequence number. So since these are occurring after, so I think what I need to do is one.
Where'd you get this document? Where's this?
He made that.
Oh, I made
Chad
that.
made
I made that.
You made that?
Yeah.
He's a
So I
document
took what their
maniac.
documentation is, which is really technical, and I like summarized here. Check this out. It gets all big.
Nice.
Yeah. This is the basics. We're actually beyond kind of what this takes you through query. Oh, this is a good one. You want to do this? This might be. We can query the sequence number of your transaction. So if you do
You have to identify the account.
query
number
sequence. What's
of the account.
yeah 5 Operation 5. Sequence account reference ID and then reset. Oh, true. So do that's not right. See, disregard my so then do 5 0 or 5 1 true.
5 1.
Try it.
No space or space.
Space between all. Or it's 5 0
5
5 0 true.
0 true. Maybe you have to do one at a time.
Yeah. I can't remember that one. Account reference ID. Oh, you actually put the account address in there. That sucks.
Sequence number is
Oh,
1.
so yeah, I mean, we've done one.
I still have that as a valid, outstanding question. How does?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Maybe. Ha 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 ha! I got it. Your sequence number on account 0 did not increase because it did not get the money. The money's not there. Why would it increase? We need to do a successful transaction where both accounts were affected correctly to see if the sequence number increased.
Okay, we'll try and send it again.
Really?
Oh, like send something else, like send more money.
All right.
Yeah. I mean, I can.
Well, if it didn't work the first time, what made it work second time?
Well, it always works. You want to try again?
What was the command?
Account. Oh no, transfer B. What's interesting, we use transfer B command.
Mm. Is
Yeah.
there other transfer commands besides this one?
Yeah, just no B.
Maybe.
I'm gonna try that instead.
Yeah, let's do something different here and see
Yeah.
what happens.
And then do 5.
Yeah, let's do 4. 4, 2, no, 1. 1. This 4 has 100,000. Let's do 456.
Okay, so it's submitted.
Okay,
So then-
query balance 4. That worked.
Yeah.
Query balance 1.
There it is.
That worked.
So maybe it was
It was the B. The B was the difference.
It was the blocking, which I'm not really certain why that would work.
What do you mean?
I thought that piece there left was gone.
You want another piece?
It's probably an obvious answer.
So the B is the bad. B for bad.
Yeah, we need to read up about it.
Otherwise,
I
it
just
works
use it
correctly.
because it always.
All right. Now we go back and look and see if our sequence number increased for number account 1. No, it's not. We want-
Account list.
All right, you know what? Is this just like this?
AC.
Oh,
it's,
no.
It's A space L or AL. A space, yeah. Or it's LA, sorry. So 1.
No sequence number increase on 1.
Right.
Okay, that's still then a valid question is how does anything returning to show you a balance, how does it know what the latest version is? That's still a valid
Right, because
question.
it only goes when money's transferred. Yeah. So when you send money, your sequence number changes.
Doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
I don't have a good answer for that right now.
That's a valid question. Because if it's trying to show you the latest status and the sequence number is identifying that for those that sent, it should also have something to indicate that for receiver.
Yeah, but it's because the state of the blockchain only changes when you're conducting a send transaction.
Do you have to do some sort of validation round?
Well, it does a validation because the money has been moved. Really it's like the nuance of the sequence number and why it only changes when money's transferred out. I don't know
Well,
because the money is moved.
it also is that how does it then find the latest state for those accounts if it does not use sequence? There's got to be something that returns back a current balance. How does it use the latest information? How does it identify the latest information to return that?
Well, in this case, it would just say your balance. It's just that the state of your account doesn't change until something goes out. Is how they have it set up. You can put as much in as you want, and it'll
So-
stay 0.
If I have $1 million coming in 40 different transactions.
Yeah.
It'll return me a balance of 0.
It'll send you a sequence number of 0. The balance changes. Your balance
Balance is changing. But how does it get into the latest state? How
It
does it get-
doesn't. That's not how sequence number works. I don't think, because it's synced up with the blockchain, and what would be a transaction is not considered a transaction.
Well, I remember in their white paper though they are having a latest state for the current balance, and then they'll have to go back to the blockchain and accumulate transactions.
Let's get to the
So if they're
bottom
not
of
using
this,
sequence,
Willie.
if they're not using sequence
Let's
number,
get to the
what are they?
bottom. So
What are they
submit a
using?
transaction sequence number.
What's the purpose of the sequence number? Then?
It's really actually I want to know. So here's the blocking one. Oh, you know what's funny about that is I put that right in. Oh, query the sequence number. Before we
We did the query, and the return the sequence number correctly for what it's got there. But
Transaction to transfer Libra from Alice's account to Bob's account. We will query the sequence number of each account. This will help us understand how
See?
executing the transaction changes the sequence number of each account.
see, there you go, right there. It's saying that each sequence number should be increased of each account.
Yeah.
Ha!
Right.
It only
Second defect.
it only increases the sequence number if you hit the like button. Hold on.
If you have a Facebook account.
Where is it? Check the balance of both accounts. That is a good question.
That's a defect, I'm telling you.
Well, sequence number is a new feature that they don't.
But that's an excellent way for them to identify very, very fast the latest version of the account
Sequence number, yeah.
with balance. That's a very fast way of doing it.
Huh.
We used to use that all the time for latest data stuff.
Where are you? Indicate the number of transactions that have been sent. Okay, here it is.
So from the account, that's conflicting with that.
That's my words.
Every time a transaction sent from that account is executed and stored in the blockchain. To know more, refer to sequence number.
This is it. This is it.
It's sent.
For an account indicates the number of transactions that have been sent from that account. It is submitted every time a transaction.
All right, fine.
sent from
Your
that
language is wrong.
This is wrong. This is wrong.
Defects on you.
Sequence number for the sender account. This helps sequence multiple transactions from the same.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa,
sender
whoa.
to
The same thing. Whoa, whoa. Look at the last line right there.
X.
When the transaction is applied, which means added, right? The sequence number of the account will become X plus 1. The account has a strict increasing sequence number.
Held in April until they are the next sequence number for that account, or until they expire. The transaction is applied. Sequence number of the account of X plus 1.
I think your language is correct.
Sequence number for an account indicates the number of transactions that have been sent from that account. It is included every time a transaction sent from that account is executed and stored in the blockchain.
Look at that last line. Well, this says that when you add apply the money, also it increases the sequence number. His language is correct.
I like this one better.
Chad, you should go over that castle sheet.
All right, it's updated. It's updated. I just want to show off my documentation.
Nice.
Wait.
Change on the fly.
But wait. You're not incorporating the last line of that documentation. You were just looking
Yeah,
at.
well, the N+1 means whatever number you have now, plus
Yes.
every single transaction that is sent. It is only when money is sent out of an account. That it
Doesn't make sense.
Yes, that's not the same as blockchain state. The blockchain state is another number that tracks the overall ledger number, and that increments differently.
Well, then what's the point of the sequence?
is so that they can see the individual account, its history from transactions out from 0 to
Only out, not in.
only out. That's right.
Why?
Because I don't know why. I don't have a good answer for you on that. I don't know. Because
It doesn't make sense.
it's actually not even that useful on the way in. You think
Well,
about
if
it.
you want to see it like a sort, money sent, money received,
Mhm.
you can see the cents.
Well,
You
yeah,
can't see the receipt.
in a traditional database, but on a ledger, it's different. It's only one-way transactions, and that's why they want to have it that way. That's my guess.
There's always a debit and a credit. There's always a debit and a credit.
Yes, but you would do a new forward transaction to reverse the transaction. You can't reverse the transaction.
Right. But how do you?
Oh no, we'll get to the bottom of that. We'll get to the bottom of that. So let's say that you and I wanted to learn how to program our own smart contract.
Oh, okay.
What would we do?
Here we go.
Build a castle.
We're gonna build a
Castle.
castle. Wow, how'd
That's
you
funny.
know? How did you know?
And my mom from Spain. I have my generations from Spain. When I went to visit there and I went through castles, I came home and wanted to build a castle.
So I am partly through this right now. It's really, really cool. So this is
Do
their
you need
way.
the sound bar on? Does he say sound?
No, there's no sound.
What is castle?
This is a game that they created that walks you through how to build a castle, and it's a metaphor lined up against how their serial number and their blockchain works, and what that serial number means.
Is this the layout of the record right here? Sized out? No.
Yeah, this is the
Well-
layout of a serial number. A serial number is generated when transactions occur on the blockchain, different than what your account is, your wallet account. And so this is the way that they teach you what it means and how each of these numbers correspond to different index locations in the serial number. And so what they do is they show you what happens when you change these numbers. It changes like
Parts of your castle.
yeah. And this is a metaphor for how it works, how the serial number works when you change the number on a block. And so
So what are they using?
if you want, we can read this real quick. It's kind of lame, but I like to hear Betsy read.
In this chapter, we will learn how to build a castle. We will use modules to build a new castle. Our castle will be stored in the database, i.e., the blockchain. In the following, we will add more functions to our castle, such as enhancing its power, combining with other castles. But before that, we should first realize the function of creating the castle. What are the properties of the castle? Each castle has its name, serial number, level, economic and military powers. The serial number determines the appearance of the castle and the race of creatures in the castle. The level determines the value of the castle. The economic and military powers affect the performance of the castle when interacting with other castles. How does the serial number affect the castle? The appearance of a castle and its race are decided by an 8-digit integer, which is named as the serial number, such as 834511029. Each digit of the serial number corresponds to a property of the castle.
Does the serial number of the transaction also 8?
That means it is. Yeah, I believe so. I don't know how. I haven't messed around with the serial number, but this is an example of how it takes you through the creation of a actual contract through the new language semantics. This is really good because it actually demonstrates the best way to construct a smart contract. I think I'll just have to show answer.
All right, let's go back just for a moment here. When we did the transfer B, the account receiving did not receive. When we did a regular transfer, it did.
Yeah,
What's the difference in the transfer block versus?
Oh, the blocked. That probably was the issue, and I don't know why that one didn't work. It could just be because we're on a private network, we're not on the testnet. So on the actual testnet, the performance of that is probably different. This is a local blockchain only to these 4 nodes.
Why would you have a different command, 2 different commands for the same thing?
because they just do different things. So one just sends directly, one sends you verification back after.
Okay.
So I don't know if you're in the traditional testnet, it's probably different. When you're linked into Facebook instead of just hard.
I like confirmation messages.
Yeah, no.
I let you know it. You know, done.
Oh yeah, I agree.
I'm a big fan of those, as well as error messages.
So this takes you through what grid function. Let me paste. I just want to show you this because this is really. And then check my answer. Yeah, chapter 1.
Get an A.
Yeah, and so now it goes more into like technical aspects of what a smart contract, which is like a module, is, how you create them, the main function, and how you create the procedure, which is the function to execute. And so this is the general structure of a smart contract, and they go through the examples, and it builds on everything as we go. And then it gets harder and harder, and it really builds pretty quick.
Have you worked through this, Chad?
Not all of it. I got through these first 5 slides, but I haven't. I think it's like something like 5. There's more to it. But this is the procedures. This is the steps to conduct on the money. So what to do, where to send it, and all that stuff.
According to your understanding, how developed is this testing? How much done it? What percentage?
It is. It's based on how quickly this move language completes. That's what they're developing. Is this language?
You're still developing
to move money. It's in an intermediate period, so it's still in testing phase for that. So when that completes, I think then they'll be ready for like mainnet and stuff like that. I don't know how that aligns with their political situation or whatever. I don't think the mainnet stops for anything. So they're still not real money. Well,
Did you hear Bitmain is opening an office in Texas?
Why Texas?
Texas, probably.
Why not? Why not Phoenix? I think Phoenix would be better than Texas. What happened?
The market crash.
How did we choke on that?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I remember there being a
I
bunch of
remember that
articles,
as well.
like right after the ant, I forget the name of the exploit, but basically that allows them to remotely turn off 86.
Oh, yeah,
So it was like
I saw that.
A month or two after that announcement, they're like, oh, they're also opening up the channel. Why?
How scandalous is that with some of the machines with the turn off feature? That is so scandalous.
Oh man.
Why does anybody even buy their crap anymore? Nobody should be.
Well, because you know that's built in, right? Like that's not just
A glitch.
That's not just.
Yeah, oh, sure. Sure.
It's a highly convenient. It's a highly convenient.
Specifically designed.
I mean, everybody
Yeah,
should.
it's a really weird
Nobody should
bug.
buy anything from them anymore. They should
Oh.
just collapse as a
We have,
company.
we have the worst bugs. Oh my god.
That was scandalous. What recourse is there for that? I mean, nothing.
Yeah. Okay, so then there's another 6 after this. There's like 3 layers and layers of this. So I think there's 15 slides, 3 levels or whatever. They also have another metaphor that's not castles. It's like some other thing too. So anyway, it builds on each one pretty quick, and so you'll eventually kind of. It'd be good to like play with the testnet and then come over here and kind of learn this. It would help kind of solidify a lot. But it gets. I don't know either.
Like it's in Texas, AMD in Texas.
That's right.
They poach town. That's also probably why they want town.
Intel. My brother is the manager of math chip design for Intel. He's also now president of the standards for the world for chip design.
Really?
Yeah.
Does he still have a student loan?
No. That dude's been out of debt for a long time. He's making bank. So. I have another brother working there too, and now he's head of security for California Department economics. No, it's economic development. I think. He's head of their IT security. A lot of tech family people. I know one brother's a mailman. You're doing okay though. You're doing okay too. Nobody get paid good.
Oh, it did work this time. I think that's why. So I have to read and write to disk in order to get the updated sequence of what's going on in the accounts. And so that's why I said it wouldn't let me do it because I had an old sequence number because things have happened or something. That's my going hunch.
Michael falls into beat ups.
I noticed that.
He's having a lot of personal issues. His daughter is dying.
Just broke some time on that. This is being recorded.
Yeah.
See, this one didn't have all 0 sequence numbers. Still, this is local to my. This is local to my.
Oh, these your accounts.
Yeah. Well, no, these yours are here too.
Where?
12 years.
Chad, do they have the smart contract functionality working on this thing?
Yeah, so every time that a money is moved from one account to another, that is a smart contract written and moved that does it. Now,
So
for you
you're saying
to
the system creates a smart contract automatically as part of that transaction?
Yeah, or it's written in, yes. it's
So
like a
there will
procedure
always
written.
be a smart contract.
That's how the procedure is done. You can't create your own as of now. Like you can't say send any personal ones. You only get the built-in ones that are here.
Does it have like a library of smart contracts?
It has a test. Yeah, it has like a 3 test ones that you can see and use. I don't know where the directory is, but it's on here somewhere. Look up where the location is, but they're there. Oh, here's the command for it. Operationally to move transaction scripts and modules. So these are the special transactions that execute the transaction, publish it, compile the code for it. And so this is the dev is the subcommand that you use, and to so this can only be used on local. So we could do this. It can't be used in testnet. So they're testnet. So the compile, publish, these are all the smart contract ones. Oh, this might tell you. Oh yeah, there's no limit. Unlike other transactions, a non-existent account itself can request a mint transaction. So you can mint to a non-account and it'll create the account. Never done that before. Okay, so let's.
Wait a minute. You can mint to a non-account?
Yeah, it'll create the account and put money in it. I don't know how to do that though. Or I've never done it. I would just say account mint.
How does your account numbers I mean, I had account numbers also with the same account numbers. Is there no like system checks?
Those are our accounts. Both of them. I only created 6 through 10. You created 1 through 5.
Oh, okay.
So I'm saving them all to that
Got it.
Libra Wallet 003. And so whenever I make changes on mine, I write them to that file, and then I recover whatever changes you may have made on yours. So we can both do it at the same time. But you have to write to that and read from it in order to get an updated account status.
If you created on your local directory here, this is when the accounts were first created, right? If you were to create another account, your local directory would be number 6. True?
Yeah, this is confusing. Here, pull up your thing. I'll show you. This is really confusing. It knows what you're doing, but so I'll make an account, and then you'll make one right after, and it'll have the same ID number.
Yeah. So if you bring them together, what happens then?
I'll show you. So I actually don't know. So you see, so do account list. And I'm showing 10. Do
Where you go? Oh, I have a little asterisk.
Okay, so you're seeing 5. Okay, so let me do something real quick.
Oh, that's understandable, right? Because you moved them to. This is on a private directory. This is on.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
No, we're in the same. We're the same.
We are?
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write all of the accounts that I just made to that same directory. So just saved it right here. So
if
now
I create another one here, I'm gonna get it a 6.
well.
We try.
So type type account recover and recover the accounts that I just saved. Then you have to do the address. So do home EC2 user.
Okay.
Space /home /RHOME /EC2 user Libra Wallet 003. It's wallets,
Plural?
Is it capital W? Yeah, hit the up arrow on this one, and then hit left. Hit up arrow, and now go left. Yeah, and then add it. Yep. That's right. Okay, so now it pulls in all 10. So you only had 5. So now you've got all 10. And so
yeah, I would have been very interested to create a number 6.
I know,
and then import and see what would happen.
let's do it. Let's do it right now.
Conflict,
so
right?
this will happen. So do account, create. So now do account list. You got 11, right?
Yep. Now create one here, right?
Now check this out. It also said 11. Holy shit.
Where?
So I just created 11. This is why I was going at home. I'm like, I'll figure this one out. And I don't. And so
yeah, you should. I mean, well, these you're saying these are connected, or is a private drive separate from the
yours
test?
are local when you're typing them in. You've got to save it to the shared wallets in order for us to update back and forth. So watch that. Yeah, but it does know. I don't know how. This is like a little more in depth. And so let's do.
Well, obviously
So I'm
not.
gonna put money in the account first, and now it's my account.
Blockchain is an invention of Satan.
Is this going to be the fulfillment of prophecy?
Yeah. Satoshi Nakamoto is writing a white books.
Okay,
Perhaps
so
he was
now
really an angel who triggered the start of that for the fulfillment of prophecy later.
I think it's all true. It's all evil.
cool. Okay, so now I've transferred money. So now you hit and make an account, and it should say 12, right? You're getting crazy with the capital A's. Oh, dude, Linux hates that stuff. Okay, so now that's 12. Weird. So then the account number 4A9C. What is my number 12, 489C. So it knows it pulled the same address. That's cool.
Really?
So it did know. Weird.
So it must be referred to the same database.
Yeah, no, they're all saved in the same blockchain. So, but they're going to the same validator nodes.
Well, why didn't? Okay, look, hold on. This was a create command, not a retrieve command. It just retrieved it. It did not create one.
Right. So it says flash retrieve. So they've retrieved that one from the shared blockchain to new, or from the shared memory.
Is this a different node? These are different nodes?
Node. No, you're a client. You're on a client submitting two nodes. So it is a shared space.
What's the capabilities with the validator nodes?
So the validator node, okay, this is kind of cool.
Can you set up multiple validator nodes?
So we have 3 validator nodes right now.
Is that by default?
I chose that on command starting. So these are the logs for the 3 validator nodes. So what you'll see is that all the transactions are in each of these logs for each node. They all have to validate it. And so they get stored in here. And so what happens is when you submit a transaction, it goes to this memory pool. This memory pool is shared amongst all 3 validators. So it's like one location. So it does know what's occurring on all of them at once. And then when a block is made, whoever is the leader of the 3 is, we have the one primary validator. Is that a
round robin?
Yeah. So it changes over time.
That's not standard though, is it?
No, this is
each one has its own mem pool.
This is different. This is different.
No, not necessarily.
It has its own, but the leaders is mixed with all 3. And so when it goes to build a block, it builds a block out of all the memory nodes from each of the 3 mem pools or whatever.
Yeah.
And it builds one block out of all of them, signs it, and then sends it back to each validation node to say, hey, these are all your transactions in both nodes. Is this good? This is the next blockchain. Next block on the chain. And so it's got a shared mem pool between all of them. So that's why it can pick up any transactions that are going on, because even though it's being sent here, it's still being put through the same memory pool.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's the best explanation you're going to get, because that's complicated. They don't even explain that on here. They just say via memory pool sharing algorithm.
They expect you to have some,
like I'm like, oh yeah. I got you. I know
some
exactly.
background information.
I know exactly what you mean. I'm all over that.
Yeah.
Everybody knows about memory pool sharing. Yeah. But like a memory pool is similar to a buffer, like a database buffer, where it's pulled up, not on disk, into a shared area. But that's
that Mastering Bitcoin book makes it sound like each node has a own mem pool.
Well, they might blockchain.
Yeah, I don't know how the blockchains do it. I just know because this is what I was reading about today, because I was confused about that, and I was like, the primary node has the important job of of pooling all of their memories pools and then creating a block out of all of them and then signing.
That would, if you have a single one, that actually would make it a little smarter. It's going to do less work on validations.
Oh yeah, for sure. One node.
Right.
Yeah. And that's usually how I do it. I only did it for 3 is just to kind of see how it worked and then check the log of each of the validators, because you can see how many, you can watch a transaction go through here. Actually, that's what we should be doing. I forgot to show you that. So
I think I'm going to wrap up the recording since we're just kind of shooting, doodling around. And then if you guys want to fly some drones, we can do that.
why is my thing not typing? Why are you not typing? Oh, the internet.
When I get some money, I'm going to get a
The
drone.
internet just turned off.
What's that? When I get some money, I'm going to get a drone.
Like
Yeah.
if you become a
Oh,
citizen,
see, they're all going
then you
off.
can
Yeah, free drone?
earn your own drone
Oh, yeah?
through an auction process. At your drone.
You see, all of them are off.
Auction process and a drone.
Yeah, so we're going to wrap it up tonight. This has been Desert Blockchain Testnet session,
Why is that one still going?
October 23rd, 2019. Our next event is for citizens, and it's on Halloween night, October 31st, 2019, 6 to 9 p.m. right here at the Blockchain Camp, 27th Avenue, Georgia, and we're going to be flying. Right. And then we're going to be flying drones. So become a Desert Blockchain citizen. You can join us for that. And Willie might become a citizen and actually earn his own drone. through his compliance goals. And then on November 20th, 2019, our regular monthly session, a week before Thanksgiving, we're going to have blockchain, insurance and blockchain. And Marsh we'll have some of their folks from their blockchain department here. So that's what's on tap. Follow along the updates. We do have Saturday sessions, although this Saturday we're going to be closed because of Phoenix Moby and Emerging Tech Conference at ASU. So that's it for tonight. Please follow along, and thank you for your time and attention. Goodbye.
It's already been made in one place. It'll pull it back up, and then you can now turn that. That makes sense. Then you can send money back and forth no matter what node you're on.
Yeah, the only
Because
thing
if you haven't
if you're
retrieved
not-
it,